Hey guys, I'm going to show you how the New York Times is already propping up establishment favorite Joe Biden while at the very same time subverting populist Bernie Sanders. So first let's take a look at the New York Times headline for Joe Biden. Biden in 2020? Allies say he sees himself as Democrats' best hope. Well, that's a very positive framing for Joe Biden, but unfortunately for Bernie Sanders, his headline, which was published around the same time, read, "For Bernie Sanders, holding on to support may be hard in a 2020 bid. Democrats' best hope versus holding on to support may be hard." Now, I want you to pay close attention to the authors of these articles. Jonathan Martin, the New York Times national political correspondent, is the same author who published the Bernie Sanders article. So Jonathan Martin is in a very interesting position because he gets to frame the narrative around Sanders and Biden before 2020 even begins. Better yet, he has the New York Times propaganda machine working behind him. Look at how the New York Times official Twitter account is covering Sanders and Biden. When they talk about Sanders, they focus on claims of sexual harassment within his 2016 campaign, saying it could hinder a 2020 bid. They even retweet articles from professional Bernie Sanders smear artist and former Wall Street analyst Sidney Ember. On the other hand, when the New York Times talks about Joe Biden, they seem to always focus on this narrative that he's the Democrats' best bet. "If you can persuade me there's somebody better who can win, I'm happy not to do it," Joe Biden said. Again, the words Democrats' best hope in 2020 are seen by the New York Times' 42.6 million followers. And of course, Jonathan Martin, who's responsible for creating this whole narrative, he highlights Cuomo says Biden has the best case because he brings the most of the secret ingredients you need to win for a Democrat, which is credibility. And here we have a Wall Street Journal headline perpetuating the very same narrative that Jonathan Martin created, that Joe Biden is the Democrats' best case. Again, Martin quotes Biden, "I don't see the candidate who can clearly do what has to be done to win." And this is my favorite one of all from Jonathan Martin. The pro-Biden argument from his allies is threefold. He's the most prepared, he has the best chance to win because of voters he can win back, and in a national emergency election, he'd offer a reassuring hand. The anti-Biden argument is longer: age, ideology, record, approach. Interestingly, even though Martin points out that the anti-Biden argument is much longer, he uses much fewer words to describe it, allocating many more words for the pro-Biden argument, which he even admits is much shorter. This shouldn't surprise you at all when you consider that back in 2016, Jonathan Martin became notorious for creating pro-Clinton, anti-Sanders opinion pieces disguised as news. Jonathan Martin was even exposed by the WikiLeaks emails to have been working with the Hillary Clinton campaign to write articles for the New York Times that portrayed Hillary Clinton in a positive light. The fact that the New York Times is allowing a compromised journalist to serve as its national political correspondent and write Bernie Sanders hit pieces while propping up the Democratic donor's favorite candidate is nothing short of an embarrassment.